What's up guys, this is Jay from Encounter Wargaming, and today we're going to be building a gaming table. So I'm out here in the backyard on one of the hottest August days of the year. I've chosen this day because I don't have room for this in my place, not to mention this is going to be a real messy job. So I'm here in the backyard and I picked a day where the forecast called for absolutely no rain, and goddamn is it hot out here. It's like 28 degrees, I'm standing here in the sun. But anyway, this is how we're going to get our table done. So let's look at the materials we're going to use, and then you guys get to watch me make a table. So this is going to be our start. Right now, I've got some playground sand. This is going to be the base of the table. Like more or less, we're going to be gluing this onto the plywood. Just got some standard LePage white glue. It says wood glue, but it's the white stuff, not the yellow stuff, because it's cheaper and it makes absolutely no difference. In this case, we're gluing sand, not wood, so really it doesn't matter. Just got some tap water here, and as you can see, I've already mixed here. I've got the white glue and the tap water kind of mixed into a cup. Just a disposable cup, so I can throw it away after, and I've got another disposable cup to be able to scoop said sand onto said plywood. Over here we've got all the plywood sections laid out on the concrete. I actually purchased these already cut in 2x2 sections, which was perfect for my use because my customer asked for the table to be in 2x2 sections. So you can just buy these at Home Depot already cut like this. You can also buy a sheet of plywood and ask them to cut it into sizes, but again, these are minimum wage employees and I don't always cut things to the right dimensions, so I just went with these because they are exactly 24 by 24, so it'll be perfect for what we're doing. So I'm just going to set you guys up on the tripod and you get to watch me glue some sand on.
So soft you put your fingers through and out. You say your check's coming now and you ran out on the town. You're the king of the bar, but everyone around. Now you're broken, need some change. We mean it in two different ways now. Alright. Know you live it well. I to roam around the street, live in poverty's well. Well, everything's a box inside a box, 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 oh, inside a box, inside a box, inside a box, inside a box. Well, everything's a box inside a box, 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 oh, inside a box, inside a box, inside a box, inside a box. Well, everything's a box inside a box, inside a box, inside a box.
There you go guys. Once those are dry, we'll tap them off and see how much of it actually sticks. Alright, so what I've done now is I've just taken them to the corner of the yard and banged off all the loose sand after the white glue has pretty much dried. And as you can see, it's real streaky. So this is mostly because I use spruce ply, which soaks up the glue really well, plus I watered down the glue, so it's soaked in really good. So all I'm going to do now is go around and put glue on all the areas where the sand is missing and just dump some more sand on there and wait for it to dry all over again. So let's do that.
The fire's still burning. We built the wheel's still turning. Our brains are frozen and nothing seems to change. I take one to cool down and one to Coming up ahead may be an exit out of this place. Well, let the missiles misfire, mutate, it's so meaningless. Laugh at the debris of our stupid lives. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The weatherman told me it wasn't going to rain today, but clearly they're wrong because it's starting to rain. So we're going to have to take a break from this and we'll come back to it when the rain stops. Alright, so we got kind of rained out, but that's okay. It's the next day, it's nice and sunny, no rain as far as I can tell. Now the forecast is calling for it today, but wasn't yesterday. Can you figure that out? Anyway, so, you know, sometimes stuff like this throws a wrench in the gears, but you gotta just keep going. So here I am, next day, nice sunny day. I've done the second layer of sand off camera, because obviously I got rained out, and this morning I just went ahead and did it so that there was, you know, we didn't have to wait for drying time. So the next step, I'm going to take this Rust-Oleum brown spray, satin espresso. Make sure if you're going to use spray paint that you don't get a gloss spray paint because it'll be almost impossible to paint on. Now this is not acrylic, this is actually rust paint, which is what I want because I want to be able to seal down this sand now so that it won't come off in the future. And acrylic is great, but as long as it's a matte finish, this is actually satin finish, I'll be able to paint on it afterwards. So let's do it.
She don't have to think, and if it's ever blue, she can pave it pink. TV's the only place she don't feel bad. Well, we pushed her through, we pulled her along in her entire life. We made her wrong, we crushed every single dream she ever had. Well, let the missiles misfire, mutate, it's so meaningless. Laugh at the debris of our stupid lives. Just frozen brains, just frozen brains.
And that's all there is to it, guys. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 5 and then let them dry, and then if there's any spots where the paint has really soaked into the sand that needs touched up, I'll just do that quick, and then we can move on to the next stage. So you're gonna find that the reason I used rust paint is because it covers really well. So I bought a can for each tile, so 6 cans, and I seem to be doing a tile and a half per can. So that'll leave me a little bit of paint to touch up here and there, because you may find that it'll soak in to the sand and still show like that sand color through. But that's okay, because I have a little bit extra paint, I can touch it up, and then once that's done, we'll move on to actually painting the table and making it look nice. Sweet, so we're back in the studio. Our spray paint is completely dry, so now what we're going to do is actually paint these tiles. Now, I would suggest using house paint for this. I actually did buy some bone-colored house paint for the final step, but I didn't buy an in-between shade, so my bad there. But I've got a bottle of this stuff. There's this Liquitex Basics. I like this color. I use it on my bases a lot, actually, because it's actually called yellow oxide. So luckily I've got a lot of this, and we don't have to use a whole lot of it to do the table. So I'm going to be using this stuff, and then we're going to do a final dry brush with a bone color. So what we're going to do on top of our brown, let's pull out the tile here. As you can see, nice dark brown, that sort of burnt umber color. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called an overbrush of the yellow. I want to leave the espresso in the crevices and just get the oxide onto all the raised areas, the large stones, large patches and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that.
No one cares. All right. my cigarettes while I drink myself to death. 'Cause no one's coming, no one's home, and no one cares.
And there it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 5, and then we'll go on to the next stage.
Now that we got our yellow complete, as you can see, it added a lot of definition to the table. Now we're gonna do another dry brush layer, this time a lot lighter. And we're gonna do it with like pretty much a bleached bone color. What Game Workshop would call you shop debone. What I've got here is some Tremclad water-based primer. It says it's primer, but it doesn't really matter. It basically comes pre-mixed in this like bone color, which is perfect. Just grab this little can, and this will probably last me like a million terrain projects because you don't need very much of it. So I'm just going to start dry brushing. Straightforward. If you don't know how to dry brush or what dry brushing is, I've pretty much gone over it in every one of my other terrain tutorials. Hopefully you do. It's one of the most basic hobby techniques that pretty much all hobbyists have in their arsenal. So, long story short, let's get going on this. Pretty sweet, right? Nice shading, nice highlights, super simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like before, do the other 5, and then we'll go on to the next stage. So back out in the backyard again. Basically, now that we've painted the table, I want it to actually look like a jungle floor. I don't want it to, like right now it kind of looks like a desert, and that's not what I'm going for. This is the jungle table. Now, normally on a gaming table I would put static grass, and we're going to put a little bit of static grass, but really on a jungle floor there's not really much in the way of grass. It's really just fallen leaves and sticks and what have you. So let's take a look at the rest of the materials we're going to need, and we'll just start decorating this thing, making it look all nice.
So to finish this table off, I'm going to be using some spray adhesive because it goes on clear and it won't ruin my paint job. But because I'm not really entirely sure about where all these things are going to go, and I can just kind of sprinkle them haphazardly, I'm just going to spray the entire tile with adhesive and just glue a bunch of crap on here. So right here I've got some dried oregano leaves and some dried basil leaves. Just pick these up, they're super cheap, and of course they look like actual fallen leaves since they're in little dried pieces. And because they're dried, they shouldn't go bad in the future. Plus I will be throwing a coat of spray lacquer onto this table as the final touch. And then I've just got here some Army Painter static grass, normal field grass color. Again, we're just going to be using this in certain spots, and the only real reason we're using the static grass is just to cover any imperfections in the table. It's actually great for covering all the little imperfections, and I'll show you those in a second what I'm talking about. So here's the table, all painted. As you can see, it looks pretty damn sweet, but it's not quite done yet. Now, the imperfections I was talking about, let's see if I can find you a nice spot here. So as I was painting it, occasionally, you know, some of this, the rust paint was supposed to hold it all in, but some of the sand does still come off, rocks, you know, and stuff as you're hitting it with your brush, especially when you're dry brushing. So if you can see that spot right there, that's actually the color of the sand showing through. That whole spot just came right off. And there's a few of them around the table, and that's where we're really going to be using the static grass to do. So I'm just going to start spraying on some adhesive. I'm going to sprinkle on the basil and oregano, and then just find those spots and touch them up with static grass. So I'm going to set you up on the tripod, and we're going to do that.
Well, I've wasted most my life on anger, but I give thanks to the change that brought me here. To the wall I hit, my friend, and we will surely meet again. Isn't it funny how everything works out? Isn't it beautiful, everything works out? Do you believe in fate or soulmates? 'Cause I give thanks to the taxi that brought you here. No, I wouldn't trade laughter for gold. No. Isn't it priceless? Everything works
So as you can
out.
see, I just sprinkled the spices right now with the spray adhesive. Now what I'm going to do, now that all those are on, is I'm going to go back and find the individual spots that look really bad and just hit them real quick with the spray adhesive and throw a little static grass on top. So.
And I'm jumping the gun, and I'm sailing to the moon. Or is it the sun? And I can't tell, it's too soon. And it's too soon. And it's too soon.
And that's really all there is to it. I mean, let's take a look at this table.
Looks pretty sweet if you ask me. As you can see, the grass just adds a nice little extra accent, as well as covers, like I said, all those naked spots of sand. The random sprinkling of spices actually makes it look like some nice, like, fallen leaves, tree bark, what have you. Not too bad. Looking pretty sweet, right? So the final stage is just to throw on some clear coat and our table is done. So here we've got a couple cans of matte varnish. Now, I've got a couple of different types here. Number one, to show you guys that you can access a variety of these things, but you want to make sure that when you're using this to seal down the table especially, much like the spray paint, you want a matte finish, not a gloss finish. If you end up glossing up your table, it's going to look really weird. Unless you're going for like a swamp look or something like that, and I guess it would work in that circumstance. But right now I've got a can of GW Purity Seal and then a can of Krylon Matte Finish. These are basically the same thing. The Krylon one is actually, I think, probably even like half the price of the Games Workshop one. But in this case, I've only got like a half can of this left and a half can of this left, so if I run out of one, I can use the other. They're both the same thing. Use whichever one you prefer, guys. And we're just gonna spray this down and call it a day.
They'll make it change your words till it sounds like a song they know. Like it really fucking matters what you have to say. Like it matters how the story goes, as long as you all look and sound the same.
And that's all there is to it, guys. I mean, it's literally that easy to make a gaming table. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Make sure to check out all the other tutorials in this playlist as they come out. If this has already been out for a while, then watch this playlist right through, because then you'll be able to see a table right from the beginning all the way to the end, including all the terrain pieces that go with it. Check these videos out over the next few weeks. They'll be coming out one a week over the next few weeks. If you like these videos, please hit subscribe and you'll be notified every time that one of these videos come out. Also, if you really like these videos and you like what we do here at Encounter Wargaming, please check out our Patreon link. It's in the description below. For as little as $1 a video, hell, even $1 a month. You can set the monthly maximum at $1 if you really want to. Goes a long way here. It helps us build terrain like this, helps keep us going with the various gaming systems that we're into, and more or less just keeps the operation running. So, until our next encounter.
Like a monkey in a rocket on his way back home. Okay. Scratching his head upon a milk crate throne. Alright. Watching summer